Meditation for neurodivergent people. Is it any good? Does it work for us? I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but for me, I needed an active form of meditation. I think meditation is normally thought of as just sitting there with your eyes closed, watching your breath. Whoa, that I could not do. I simply couldn't do it. I mean, sitting still, eyes closed, watching, but not only was it incredibly boring, but it just made me sleepy. I couldn't see the point in it. I didn't seem to be getting any benefit at all. So I gave up on that idea long time ago. Instead, I spent a long time looking at my thoughts and beliefs and emotions, just watching my mind, basically. And what I actually did in that is a whole nother story. But what appealed to me about the Tibetan form of meditation is that it's active. You get to actually do something. So you visualize things and you can chant sounds and you can flick beads on a mala. So this repetitive flicking of beads on a mala, great. You know, it's a kind of a stimming. A lot of people rocked. You know, it's like rocking's fine. So I'm not advocating Tibetan Buddhism as such because it's a religion and with all the problems that come with religion, and I left that. So I'm definitely not into the religious aspects of it. But I do realize that the active method of meditating worked for me. And I would never have meditated had I not met this active form of meditation. Being able to visualize, and in this case it's deities, but now I just use balls of light or a figure of light. It doesn't have to be the religious figures. So you have light sort of coming into you and you do various things with the light and you use your imagination and you use your voice. So it allows you to repeat over and over and over the same sounds, right? So I think that form of meditation, I mean active meditation, where you are visualizing on things, particularly the visualizations and, you know, the sound and the action, that's good too, but it you know, that's kind of extra. It depends on the person as to how complex you want to go. But this active form of meditation held my attention. I found I could do it for long periods of time. They had a system whereby you counted the number of mantras and that gave you a kind of an aim. That works for some people, worked for me because it was just like, oh, okay, you know, I'll do that number. And so I put aside time to do it, which meant I did an enormous amount of meditation, which helped me enormously. But other people just found that a pressure. And you can't, you know, that's no good for neurodivergent persons. So you don't want to put yourself under any kind of pressure to count a certain number of mantras. I think it's more that you just put aside time to do a certain time of this meditation. But, you know, meditation is not necessarily good for everyone, but in an active form of meditation, because you're doing something, it's quite entertaining actually. So it's more interesting, you know, than just sitting there and watching your breath. And it leads you to the same point in the end. And there are moments within this whole active meditation approach where you dissolve the whole meditation. You dissolve it in your mind until you dissolve as well into sort of nothing. And at that point you are just sitting and being. But you've got yourself into that state through a process of active meditation. So it's not like just sitting down and, okay, you know, I'm going to close my eyes and watch my breath. And you also do it with your eyes open, which keeps you awake and allows you to more easily integrate the skills that you learn in meditation into your daily life, because you're doing it with your eyes open. So you can sort of do it anywhere. So I think it works really well for neurodivergent people. Well, it worked well for me anyway. I can only speak about my own experience. But I will talk some more about specific active meditations that I think anybody could do and that are basically what I do now. They're based on what I spent 20 years learning and practicing about, but I've just removed all the religious and cultural aspects from, so I think they still have the same kind of power, but none of the bullshit. So I'll talk about them. I'll talk about that in other videos.